because she is such a important unit in the community, as we see the first Vanessa pre-ban of the game.
No, now we don't get to see her anyway. Thanks a lot. All right.
Yeah.
Neftis banned, of course. I mean, if Mahi has that light dark neck 5, you don't want any business dealing around with that. Bastet coming up here first. I think taking that away from Mahi, because he might be, he knows he likes Lucian, so he might be interested in trying to prevent that cleave comp a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Bastet and Neftis being out, those are 2 core units for Mahi, so he needs to adjust right now, but I'm sure that Mahi has expected this happening coming into the tourney, so he has that Tiana ready to go, but a Viger living up to his words once again. Tiana Viger, this is not a very common duo.
Interesting. And then right away, the Sierra being picked over on the other side. So speed leader coming through with Veligil for the immunity below her. And what is going to be the counter pick here for Mahi?
Yeah, Veligil Bastet was a thing that Japanese server players have originally started, and they are sticking to what made their claim to fame, so to say. And right now, the team comp coming out of Mahi is very mixed, because normally when you pick a Tiana, you don't want to pick something like a Fran with it, but I see what he's looking at. He wants to just get that first turn with the Tiana and just cleanse unnecessary stuff and allow this Jaeger to kill whatever Viger armor breaks. As we see Diana coming out, this unit is definitely a scary unit given how Mahi drafted so far, so I do appreciate that strategy coming out of Tanaka. But the Triana coming in, I mean, Triana's definitely a very good pick, by no means. It's just that he has 3 support on his team now, so...
So you ban one of the damage, right? And then there's the Leica coming in last here, the Red Dragon Knight. So you got 2 Dragon Knights. So Mahi's making you choose, which one I assume you want to ban. And then on the other side, you do have 2 different immunities. So, Tanaka Tsubasa is maybe really trying to get that immunity there. Is my assumption?
For sure, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. As we're about to find out what Mahi's thinking along the lines of banning, it could actually be one of the supports, because Veligil is a unit that will basically make it so that armor break will never land if Tiana does not get to do her skill 3 at the right timing. So he's really taking his time to decide what he's going to ban right now. And we see 5 seconds on the clock. It's counting down. They're running out of time, and it's going to be Leica and Sierra.
All right, we are coming through. Gonna probably, I assume this is going to be, a really interesting one. But like you said, on the right-hand side for Tanaka, not a ton of damage here. A lot of protection and sustain, but other than Diana, you're not going to be dishing it out too heavy.
But the thing is, if Tahaka, my man, is a cheeky guy, he must have his supports all on crit damage, so I still have faith in him. He needs the Bastet armor breaks land, but he is considering what to do right now. He does go for the Sanctuary regardless of the fact that Tiana will remove it, because he wanted to get that first turn, and we see Bastet on Violent Runes, which is very crucial information, and his whole team's just going to take the turns right now, which allows Mahi pretty much to put his opponent in the place that he wants him, and he's thinking about going for the skill 3, and he does end up going for it, meaning no more immunity is going to be around. Viger, this is the chance to perhaps armor break Triana and try to kill her with the Jaeger. Does he believe? No, he goes for the safe play on Bastet.
Wants to go for the Bastet, does get the armor break there, and now he gets another turn with the Viger here, going to speed buff.
Yep, I absolutely agree with that call, because this prevents the Diana from transforming as easily here, and it's not like he's going to kill Bastet here anyways, given that Triana's there. So he's just going to go ahead and try to pop the passive. He doesn't get it, but Bastet is really low.
Yeah, really low. Counter-attack there.
Okay, Tiana damage coming out. 11k with the attack buff. That Bastet, if she takes a multi-hit here, she's dead. So he needs to consider shielding up, but he does not. And Viger does end up popping it, the Triana's passive, and now Bastet is forced to go for skill 3.
All right, here we go. The buffs are up for Tanaka, and now he's trying to just hold on. So far, the advantage in the favor of Mahi right now. And
he's going for the transform.
Here we go.
He hits the Fran, because Fran's the only target with no anti-crit, and now this Diana needs to try to stun the Fran, and he lands it, which is going to allow this Fran to keep those dots on her, which is very crucial.
All right, Justice coming. Ooh.
Hard damage coming out, even through the shield.
It's hard, does Jaeger. All right, AoE coming through.
And the armor breaks land on Jaeger. this could look really bad for Viger here, as Diana's about to take a turn immediately after the Viger. So Mahi is in a really rough spot right now. He goes for the armor break on Velodual, but he does not proc. So here's Diana's turn to go pew pew.
That's as you like her to see do. She's going to land a bunch of damage there, and then she's going to transform again. See what option he's going to go for. Just keep pushing it down on this Jaeger. This Jaeger so weak.
Proc.
So weak. You're right, the violent proc as well. Going to go for the Sanctuary, the immunity, the safety play. Now it is going to be a waiting game. You can finish that off, and down goes Jaeger over to Diana.
Yeah, this is a rare moment where you have Diana pretty much in the spotlight here, because she is a unit that players have learned to counter over years, but she pretty much has a free reign over this match right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with that critical defense, it's still really difficult to deal with her for Mahi, and he's really thinking this one over. He's going to go for the auto there onto Velodual, and the return auto. No proc there.
Now this, we see Tanaka going for the safe play. He didn't want to try to get caught off in human form, which is definitely the smart thing to do, because he doesn't need to take risks to win right now. He's just playing it very safe and slow. I really like that.
Yeah, absolutely, of course, because, yeah, in the human form, you're way more vulnerable with those unicorns. And we get the attack increase here. See what we get from Triana. Almost takes it down.
I mean, I don't mean to be a dream killer, but this is really over for Mahi, it seems like. I don't know what he's waiting around for, because this Triana, even if he gets a killing opportunity on the Velodual, she's going to absorb the damage. As we see Mahi agreeing with me there, he concedes, and Tanaka.
This go around, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Sierra ban or something, just because that seems to be so popular these days. Other things potentially, maybe you don't want to see, you know, the Jaeger or something like that is going to be Bastet and Diana. He doesn't like the Diana. Makes sense. Diana was really the hero in that last one.
Yeah, absolutely. She crippled my team comp, so he's like, you know what? I kind of have Diana PTSD right now. Get that pony out of my sight.
Absolutely. He has a bit of PSD after that one. So, Nephthys first pick, I think, is what we're all kind of wondering. No, he wants to go back.
No, he doesn't need to, because I assume that Tanaka does not have Nephthys.
Of course. Yeah,
but we do see that Tiana pick coming in once again. I do personally feel, however, that last match, that Tiana pick was the reason why Mahi left, or Mahi lost, because that left him in a really weak spot. It felt like one of his monsters were there just to be a support. So I'm sure that he's going to have a better combo this time around against the Vanessa Fran. He's most likely going to go for another stripper to allow the Nephthys to shine.
AoE strippers, a lot available. The Fire Brownie, very popular for its lead. And Nephthys, of course, finally going to be coming through as we expected. The counter going to be Samantha.
Yeah, Tanaka, he sees that his opponent wants to try to outspeed him, so he goes ahead and takes up another 33% speed leader. But one thing to keep in mind is that when you have a Fran in there, it does kind of make your team outspeeding the opponent not as good. So this is more of a responding pick out of Tanaka, which could be his doing, because right now, the 4 units he picked, there's only one unit that can really hard carry the match through raw damage or CC. So right now, Mahi, if he picks 2 units that shoves Tanaka into a really bad situation in this draft, I think he might have it.
He just goes double Dragon Knight again here at the end. Jaeger and Leica coming in for his picks. He really likes those units. They're very strong, and we've seen it almost single-handedly win matches by themselves.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with his picks there. He definitely needed double threat coming in. He does not need a double stripper like we earlier discussed with that Draco, because that unit already kind of just makes the team shine. He doesn't necessarily need even Nephthys armor break to land. As we see the water fairy coming out here, very, very interesting, because this could mean that we might see a Fire Brownie ban, because if the Triton is gone and the Fire Brownie is left up, that water fairy is going to do nothing.
All right, well, we'll see if your prediction is correct here. The bans, they're really thinking about this one coming in. A lot of mind games going on here as, you know, the second awakening with that water fairy. Oh, okay, Jaeger and Vanessa.
Well, at least he's got Triton up this time, so that will allow the Water Fairy to not be useless like we talked about earlier. She will be doing a lot in terms of just shutting down units that he does not want to be moving. As we see Triton getting that first turn with the 33% speed leader, he's going to go ahead and go for the silence so that Tiana does not get to do skill 3. However, it did miss on Draco. This is not very good for Tanaka right now.
All right, just nothing doing there. Here comes the whistle. You're going to get that immunity up.
Oh boy, here comes the guaranteed armor breaks coming out. He can go for the confirmed kill onto the Triton. So Fran, obviously, he chooses to cleanse, but he chose to cleanse the Water Fairy, meaning at this point, Mai kind of just has to go for Triton, I guess.
All right, Purify here. And yeah, so silence still. So nothing, you're not going to get the justice just yet. Not that you'd want to use it there anyway.
Yeah, keep in mind that the fact that Laika did not move as a follow-up after the Brownie was absolutely crucial there. Also, given Fran's procs, it allowed the armor breaks to be cleansed. Now, all of a sudden, things don't look very good for Mahi right now. As he gets his buff stripped off, this Water Fairy pick is actually going to come in super clutch here because she's going to shut down this Laika very hard.
Yeah, the double cleanse is really important to make sure that nothing gets broken for Tanaka, and just a couple ball rolls into the enemy there, and I suspect he's just choosing who he wants to peel. Yes, there you go. You're going to be Samantha, and now go for the sleep. Indeed you do, and it's going to be on the Draco.
There you go. Now, Mai's team is all going to get just locked down. Water freezing win very casually, and now he's just going to take out this Nephitis. And now Laika looking very grim here. We know this unit is a super carry, but the Water Fairy shuts him down so hard.
Yeah, it's really important to come through with that Water Fairy pick. It's a really clutch pick here for Tanaka. Winds of Change.
He has a chance. He needs to get a kill with this. He's going to go for the armor break here, and he needs to land it onto the Water Fairy, and he misses. That is unfortunate.
Oh boy, yeah, not looking good now for Mai. He's going to go for Fran here.
Yep, he has no choice. He has to do it.
Got to get her off the board.
He tried to return the armor break, and he did get it off of him, which is very good. However, the Laika being sleeping right now is just going to buy so much time for Tanaka to go ahead and knock out this Brownie. I cannot say enough how important that proc on Fran was in round 1, because had that not happened, there would have been an armor break, and this could have been a completely different game.
Yeah, that turn order so important. Making sure you can either keep those buffs or remove those buffs means the difference in a game here, and that's going to wipe the Brownie off the board. Draco is out. Can the super carry get it done somehow, some way? It's not looking good. The element favor not in his, in his advantage, and he is going down rather quickly.
Come on, Laika, you need to crit the Water Fairy. You have no other choice. It's a gamble, but you gotta go for it. Mahi's a smart dude. He knew what was up as he avoids the freeze coming out. However, that is it for Laika.
All right, a nice try here